Hi folks, we're in the midst of a great Alabama thunderstorm and heavy lightning. So we also have a friend here today. He's cooking dinner for us. He was the former 3rd Infantry Division museum curator, and we went to Iraq together in 2003. So, Miss Katie, what do we have today?
1944.
And who's it by?
Worthington Games.
Worthington, because we like Grant and Mike Wiley, don't we?
We do.
They send us lots of games. And who is our favorite person from the Battle of the Bulge?
Martin Hessler.
Fictional, but...
Fictional.
And we always say to parody him,
Cats.
too many cats. Because, well, you know, as we self-style ourselves, because it's not very much of a stretch, we have how many cats?
10.
Although we're really down to
9.5.
9.5, because Blackman version 2 now thinks he's part dog and goes in and out with the boys. So,
Yes.
but this one arrived just the other day, didn't it?
Yes.
So we're kind of excited to see it. In fact, where did we go on our honeymoon?
We went to Belgium.
And we were in the Ardennes because we saw the one King Tiger tank.
And we saw Dragon's Teeth.
And we saw Dragon's Teeth near Aachen. What a warm and romantic honeymoon to go look at King Tiger tanks stuck in a square and Dragon's Teeth. So, as always, what do we do next, Miss Katie?
Bye-bye.
Thank you, people.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks, here we are. New game from Worthington. Let me get it all in the picture here. You can see it here. Well, we're hoping you can see it here. And inside the Worthington box is Patsy. So let's start talking about things one thing at a time. We have two nice big order of battles. And what's nice about the order of battles, you can see on each side the initial forces set up, and of course the propaganda picture. But you see there aren't many units that start, and here it is, like for my beloved Bloody Bucket 128, you can see, well, they're kind of at reduced strength. Reinforcements. Now let's see, where is the 106th? The Golden Lions. Well, they didn't have such a good time. Things are color-coded for which army they belong to. Well, I kind of like that. I think that's a nice concept here. And of course, the Brits are brown. The three German armies are appropriately 7th Army, which was, of course, to hold the shoulder, 5th Panzer Army, which was supposed to haul butt, and 6th Panzer Army, which was to haul butt. You have your special units for the Germans right here. You have, let's see, German artillery here, leader here, for the Allies, leader and artillery as well. Makes it pretty easy, doesn't it? So let's look at counters. Counters, big counters. I like big counters. Easy to read, and you have put these on top of the counters. If they have moved for that turn, and then when they're finished, because a unit can move and then attack, which is really pretty interesting. The way it's done here in the game, well, by the example, movement attack. The German begins by activating the 1st SS Panzer for an attack. It attacks. You can mark that it has attacked. The 1st SS Panzer then could move later because it has only attacked and has not moved. Well, that allows for a lot more fluidity in the game. But counters, they're nice. They're big, they're easy to read, and we hope, because Smitty always complains about this, or notes it, may perhaps not complain, that they should be easy to dismount. I've generally found that to be the case with most ones. Here again are some Piper, which is listed here as a division, but that's for an alternate world, so to speak. The Allied have air in this. Each side has replacement points. And of course, there's my blessed Second Armor Division, Hell on Wheels. I think it should be a higher number, but I always do. And you see how the armies are broken up by color coding. Makes it easy to play in that sense. Okay, let's look at terrain effect chart. There's nothing really much unusual here, except the bridge. Allied zone of control interdicts the bridge for German movements. They can't move across it that way. Open road for motorized move is 1/3 of a movement point. So certain units can really haul butt sooner to get things. So you think like how the 101st got to Bastogne. Now let's look at the map. As I move papers around, there's your overall view of the map. Now let's look close at it. Do you like the way this road system looks? Not squiggly enough or something? Well, I'm okay with that. I perfectly find that fine. And you see, of course, here why Bastogne matters, because think of it as the Gettysburg of the Ardennes. Lots of roads coming in, much like St. Vith. And of course, where do the Germans want to get to? Well, they want to get to Vierge, they want to get to Liege, they want to exit off here, they want to get to Namur, they want to get across the Meuse River, don't they? That is really the point for them. Now, the one other thing you will need to go to Board Game Geek and print off the errata sheet, because there's a page of errata. Well, you know, it is what it is. I'm just glad to have a game like this. It's so attractive. Let's talk about counters. I like when something is on the map like this, because then I don't have to go looking in the rule. 3 numbers, 3, 4, 4. 3, DRC, dice rolled in combat. 3, strength point, which means how many steps, how many movement points. Pretty easy, isn't it? Nice to have it right here. Out of supply chart, resource point chart. Again, all easy. The dice, as you can see right here, are, and don't you like this? We actually have and these are deep, look at this. They are, well, up to there deep on me. Hits are determined by an infantry or armor symbol. On the infantry, a infantry and armor symbol will turn out to be a hit, and for the infantry, for the armor, only an armor hit. Again, I kind of like what they did here. This I was surprised by, a gamepad. You keep track of, because I suspect most of you keep track of what happened in your games. I have records in games from 1970 on scratch pieces of paper. I'd love to have people think of doing this sooner. So we have this right there. And of course, you know, this is an unboxing video, right? Okay, we know that. There are optional plans. There's the Rundstadt Plan Martin. That's the variable plan. There's the Hitler Autumn Mist, another plan. There's the historical operation, which of course will be the first one we play. 10 game turns. There is then the spoiling attack. Well, so what do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 games really here. I can live with that. Four games is a good thing to me. Now let's talk about the rules. They are well illustrated. Terrain movement effects are not cumulative. Well, I found that kind of interesting. Of course, here we talk about the dice rolled in combat. What I did not find in the rules is the scale. Most of us like to at least have a sense of the scale. The artillery units. Artillery units are kept off board and placed during combat. During combat? No, it should be during combat. On the turns available, what I really like is their note here. The 3 German artillery units are available on turns 1 through 3. They had +1 to attack. And they can't be further from a Siegfried line hex because they're horse-drawn. Air units come times. Leaders come. They had +1 die during an attack. Sequence of play. German places reinforcements and refits units. They then activate units for movement in combat. And then it turns into the ally turn for the same thing. Resource points, I suppose they're the game engine that they're used to refit steps. They activate units for movement and activate units for combat. So, as an example, you have here the RP turn track. The allies start at 6, go to 8, go to 12, go to 12, go to 14. Now I'm looking at the German. The German are at 20, 20, 20, 20, 18, 18, 18, 16, 16, 16. The allies keep increasing. And of course, we have an RP track that runs the length of the board. Intelligently laid out design here. I have no complaints about that. Combat in the rules. Combat is simultaneous. Both sides roll their dice and take their hits concurrently. There are special units, the 30th Corps, American Airborne, the German Paragraph, the Kampfgruppe von der Heid, the Operation Grief folks, terrain effects chart, which is the same as on the board, and a good series of optional optional rules, but my favorite is the German fuel shortage, because you read repeatedly how the Germans are at it. And in one of Miss Katie's favorite movies, The Battle of the Bulge, what goes on? Well, Colonel Hessler is looking for fuel. Supply graphic example wasn't hard to figure out, but it's still nice to have. And I think the movement and attack graphic is just spiffy. Well laid out, makes it easy to understand, no complaints. All right, now let's talk about books. Of course, there's Volume 7, Germany in the Second World War. This is the area that deals with the Battle of the Bulge. The Germans treat it almost dismissively with only 21 pages. Can you believe that? 21 pages. I'm not quite certain, and it would be good if it was a 21 pages of solid analysis, interesting material. It's a meh, okay, we've checked the block, we wrote about the bulge, it was stupid to do, kind of the end of the German historian analysis. Yes, my analysis is flippant, but it's very disappointing to what the rest of this fine series does. Then there's Peter Caddick Adams, who has written, I think, what is the book on D-Day, Sand and Steel, and his Snow and Steel is pretty darn good, although I'm a little disappointed that someone chose, again, a fake picture, because this is a staged propaganda picture. But it is, it's a tome. It's huge. You can't think of more than a huge book, but well read, easy to read, and he's got a good thing. And of course, Trevor Dupuy wrote, I think, one of the standard works on the Battle of the Bulge. Hitler's Last Gamble. It's easy to acquire. It's not a horrible price on Amazon. Snow and Steel, you want it in a hardback version, I would think. But so here we have it. Oh, I might as well show you the back of the game box, because we showed you the front. And you see, if I had looked on the back right away or paid attention to it, I'd have noted, well, there's the pad. I think this is the gray shading is just marvelous. The game complexity is low. Solitaire suitability, it says, is low. I probably doubt that, because we know how does Smitty play everything? Other than cats coming in and helping, everything is played solo. So, as always, we thank you fine folks for watching our stuff. It should be an exciting new game to play, and we will start breaking counters out tonight. Oh, wait, we have new help. Mittens has decided to show up. Mittens. And Mittens is always one of my gaming buddies. And let's see. Yes, of course, Mittens is on the game map. So as always, you folks have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.